Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
What? Dude.
Fish on.
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust rowpaint.com to get that job done right.
We don't need gimmicks like giant checks and mascots to promote this year's football contest because we're giving away even more money than we did last year.
$16 million in guaranteed prizes to be exact. There's 2 ways to win and no rake.
Players in Circa Millions make 5 picks against the spread each week with quarterly and full season payouts.
Circa Survivor entries select one team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all. Visit circasports.com for details.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Canned Cocktails is perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Now, here's 4-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing, Boise State fans? Welcome on into Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com. It is a Tuesday with Tust, even though Jay is in Eugene, dealing with some spotty Wi-Fi. I know it's a little grainy right there, but Jay is with us. We can hear him at least fine. We'll power through today and make it work. Jay, a lot going on for you, a lot going on for me. Jonah Dalmas is going to join us later in the show as well, but appreciate you making it work, and for your hotel roommate there for letting you get up early here to do this, and appreciate it, man. How's it going?
It's good. It's just after 8 o'clock here on the in the Pacific time zone, so it's a little early for us, but we're up and at it anyways. But it's been a fun few days here in Eugene, and a number of members of Team Idaho are really representing here. It's been fun.
Yeah, no doubt. We'll maybe try to get a thought or two on that before we get out of here today. We're going to talk Ashton Jeanty today. As I said, Jonah Dalmas, I was able to tape an interview with him last night. Tomorrow night is the big Horseshoe Collective softball game. Are you going to be back to MC that still?
That was the hope. It's going to be our athletes are doing so well that it might be a little challenging. So
I told Jay Tust I wouldn't umpire. I told Joe Nickel I didn't want to umpire this year. I wonder if I get roped into asking to help out if you can't make it back.
What the heck? How'd you get out of umpiring?
I don't know. It just wasn't a huge. I just don't. I don't know. Wasn't a huge fan of it last time I did it.
Looks like you're back in.
I may be stuck now. We'll see. But it should be fun. Definitely we'll be there to get some interviews and things. And again, it's 5:30 home run derby, 6:30 is the game. And there's going to be some former players competing in the home run derby. And again, this is to raise money for the Horseshoe Collective, the collective that helps pay some of the Boise State football players and athletes. So you want to see your favorite football players in a different light. And sometimes, Jay, you get some of these guys that are very uncomfortable going up there and taking it at bat or trying to catch a fly ball or throw a ball. You see how graceful they look on a football field. It is anything but that for some of these guys on a softball field. And some of the newcomers, Chris Marshall, Malachi Nelson, both playing for the offense. You got some, the defense sound looks pretty stacked as well, and they won last year. So Hawks Memorial Stadium, the game is back. You can buy tickets at the Boise Hawks website. Again, that's tomorrow night, and Jonah Dalmas will join me about 9:30 to discuss that. But, Jay, always a fun time getting out there for the softball game.
Yeah, you want to talk about guys' athleticism. Shout out to Jabril Frazier because I'll never forget what he looked like swinging a baseball bat. Great football player, though. Outstanding football player. I could never do what he did on a football field. That's for sure.
No, there's some of these DBs and people that, you watch them go try to take an at bat, and you're like, there's no way you look that unathletic batting, and you can look like that on a football field and dominate.
Yeah.
So,
it makes me feel a little bit better about myself, though, because like I could swing a baseball bat. So I couldn't do what they do on a football field, but I could swing a baseball bat.
Well, again, that'll be tomorrow, 5:30 for the Home Run Derby. It's always a good time. They are doing autographs afterwards, and the new thing this year is they're letting the kids run the bases afterwards as well. So come on out, bring the kids, $5 for a ticket, and should be a lot of fun. As I said, don't miss Jonah Dalmas coming up here in about 20 minutes or so. We're continuing our countdown to Camp Series. Believe it or not, Jay Tust, 2 weeks from right now, Lord willing, we will be doing this interview live at Circa Resort and Casino on the opening day of Mountain West Media Days. I guess I'll be at Circa. You'll be traveling down maybe. I guess the actual media days start tomorrow. But we're going down to do our Tuesday show there out by the pool in advance of Wednesday. So if you want to get an extra day in Vegas, I'm sure Camille just loves it when you're gone the extra day in Vegas for no reason. You should come down to on Tuesday. And I know Johnny and Prater are doing their show out there on Tuesday at the pool. We'll be doing our show out there, kind of previewing media days as part of our sponsorship with Circa. But folks will be traveling to Vegas today. Media days will be 2 weeks from tomorrow. Crazy to believe. Have you done your ballot yet? I think you told me you wanted to get it done early, and you've already got it done. I finally did mine last night, and
just before the deadline. Isn't that like noon today or something?
We are due at noon today, and I did it at about 1 a.m. last night. Yesterday was one of those days where it was the first day in a long time where I've been in town and had no baseball games or events for the kids and tried to do a ton of work on the house. And that meant when my kids went to bed at 8:30, 9 o'clock, I had to start about 4 or 5 hours of actual work, emails and things, and got some stuff done and was up till about 2 in the morning last night, but did get the ballot done about 1 in the morning. And I had I don't know about you if you're willing to say this or what you had, but I had the BSU sweep on the all conference awards.
No, I'll say that too.
I don't know if Ahmed Hassanin is going to get it because we've talked about Ahmed Hassanin, and I'm worried that the double teams and all that stuff, he just may not quite have the same season in stat wise, and that not to say he's not going to have a solid season, but I just think like on paper his season might not be as good because it's going to be hard to replicate what he did. But I did go Ashton Jeanty, Offensive Player of the Year, Ahmed Hassanin, Defensive Player of the Year, and it's interesting because I would have maybe voted for Jonah Dalmas. They put James Ferguson Reynolds on there, but I did go with James Ferguson Reynolds, even though some of the returners had some pretty impressive numbers, and I could see that going either way. It's hard to give a punter sometimes a special teams award, but he did lead the nation in punting, and he's back. And I got James Ferguson Reynolds as the special teams player of the year as well.
Yeah, I'm assuming that also might, you can only nominate one, right? You said that before. And I believe Jonah was the nomination last year. And so, maybe it's just a way to mix it up. And because you can only nominate one, you just kind of trade going back and forth with your elite special teamers.
Again, he is a grainy Jay Tust, but he's up early doing this for us. We appreciate it in Eugene, Oregon, as he gets set for the you're already in the middle of the trials and things. And you've been up there since Saturday, you said, covering Boise State and Idaho athletes?
We woke up early. We've been here since Saturday morning. So we woke up early, made the drive out here, and it's been a lot of fun so far. A few Boise State alumni are here and representing as well. Christy Schofield ran in the 800-meter final last night, took 6th in the nation. It wasn't enough to get her to the Olympics, but still, what an unbelievable performance. BJ, you go all the way back to the day we arrived, and Christy ran the 800 in the opening round. Yeah. She was the 27th and final qualifier into the semifinals. So she barely made it out of the opening round, and then she only got stronger. She finished again 6th in the country last night in the 800-meter steeplechase, 800-meter final. And then the steeplechase, you have Allie Ostrander that qualified yesterday. She's going to run in the final on Thursday. So those are most of the Boise State ties, and we have a number of other athletes here that either went to high school in Boise or Idaho for that matter. Peyton Bear, familiar last name, Gatlin Bear's older brother. He took 12th into the decathlon, and I gotta say, BJ, some of these sports don't get a ton of exposure. The decathlon is like an awesome sport, and I don't know why it doesn't get more exposure. I mean, imagine if you had, it was almost like the back in the days with Bo Jackson, but if also Bo Jackson played hockey and tennis, like, you know what I mean? Like, along with a few other sports, and then you just got to see how good you can be at each of them. By the way, Bo probably would have been amazing at that. But it's a really cool sport, and we got some awesome athletes in Idaho.
Check out KTVB.com and all their newscasts. Jay's live and doing reports pretty much throughout the day. So you can track all that while they're in Eugene there for the Olympic trials with KTVB. There is a couple questions about the uniforms on here. My understanding is like the players will have the new uniforms, I believe, at media days, Jay. That was the plan at least. So I think you were the one that brought this up. Like they have to announce it before media days. Boise says, I guess we'll have the new uniforms in the next 2 weeks. And then Nate says, yeah, I would expect them to come out before the college football 25 game. That is coming out later after media days, but media days is the first public appearance. I don't know if they're going to do some big press conference thing and do it, or if they're just going to have the players at media days have them, and that's when we'll first see them. But I would suspect we're getting pretty close here. At a maximum, I believe media days is when we'll see those, and I'm expecting them to be pretty plain, which I guess plain can be clean. But we've seen basically two different styles of Nike uniforms, and I was told like 3 months ago during spring ball that all of them are pretty much the same. So I was led to believe that what we would see from other schools would be the same. And we've seen two styles, kind of the stripes on the sides with kind of the three colors, and then we've seen just a plain, very basic, not much wording or at all or designs, just a plain jersey with a number. And sometimes people like the kind of clean look. But Boise State, in the past has been known with the different kind of uniforms and being a little flashy with some of that. And I don't know this to be a fact, but I'm expecting these to be pretty basic and on par with what we've seen from some of these other schools.
Yeah, it's I kind of agree with you there, BJ, because I mean, this goes back quite a ways. You're right, and Nike's doing it differently now. They're not doing like super custom designs anymore. The uniforms are more uniformed, right? And that's just the way that I kind of expect it to go down as well. But I'll say this, my alma mater moved to kind of a more simple, cleaner look a few years ago, Washington State, and I think it was the right move. Now they just have their core, school colors a part of their color scheme. That means that every pant goes with every top and every helmet in some way, shape, or form. And I've also long said that, some of like the gray that's on the Boise State uniforms at times, like whether it be the gray numbers, it makes a mismatch with the white pants. And so I've long been a proponent of, making sure the color scheme is simplified.
Yep, I'm hoping it's white numbers especially when it comes to the blue jerseys and the black jerseys. I'm hoping it's just way more cleaner and basic. And it sounds like at least the plan when I talked to some folks back in spring ball, Jay, was to just get blue, white, and black. We're going to be the three. They could do three for this year. And my understanding was blue, white, and black. I don't know if you've heard the same on that or not, but I don't believe a orange jersey is coming this year.
Correct. Yeah, that's my understanding is as well.
Still wear the orange, and they still may. They have an orange out. It'll just be the old uniforms for one game.
Yeah, and even when they've kind of, introduced new uniforms in the past, it's not like every single uniform is replaced at that given time. They have some of the older looks too. So, that we'll just have to wait and see. Everybody's excited. Everybody is eagerly anticipating this thing, and I think we're getting close to finally seeing what this is look like. I still do think that it's going to be something to look forward to. I think it's a chance to, just have a cleaner look that makes the uniforms pop a little bit more because they're going to match a little bit better, in my opinion. We'll just have to wait and see though.
The gray numbers on the blue is one I still don't get that or understand why they ever in the first place decided to do that. And I get under the lights, it pops a little bit, but it's really hard to see. And then, as you said, and then the black jerseys, the orange, all the numbers were really hard to see at home on a lot of these uniforms. And like you said, then when you tried to mix match it with some of the pant combinations, it just didn't match a lot. So, and even the orange jerseys aren't the same color as the orange helmets. So, AP says only 3. Well, Nike's tripping because Oregon will still get their 10 different jerseys.
I mean, that's true though. Oregon's a different beast. They're just different. Like, some of the other schools around the country are probably going to have, certain customized looks as well. But, you look at like a TCU or something like that, like their look is, look at their jerseys, from last year and look at what they revealed this year. It's a much more
all the horn, all the stuff around the
but
collar.
Tell me that you don't mind it. Like I think that was a good move on their part. The stuff around the collar was, I just didn't really like it that much, whatever. So those are kind of the looks that now Nike is going to be providing their schools.
And I think the stripes give it more of a little retro feel, and I actually kind of like that. I'd be perfectly fine with the stripes, and if it's just a straight blue, orange, white, combo, so to speak, and then you have the black ones. But I actually don't mind the kind of retro, old school Florida kind of blue and orange, color, just the retro, just basic uniforms. I'd be okay with that.
But they're different than the stripe, a little different than the stripes on Boise State's uniforms. The ones now kind of go diagonal. These ones would just kind of go horizontal across the shoulder, the side of the shoulder pad. If that is the case, by the way.
Yep. Or it could be the other look. Some of the schools are, like you said, I think TCU just has the plain color, pretty much nothing on the shoulder sleeves. There's some different teams that have there's two different styles that I've seen. So we'll see, but I would suspect it to be one of those. And I would suspect the next couple weeks at the latest, you'll find out at Mountain West Media Days when we don't have the players yet. I don't know if you know this, but I've been trying and I can't get the players that they're for whatever reason not wanting to reveal this yet. We've talked about this, Jay, but I believe offensively, I would think a Latrell Caples makes a lot of sense. I guess you could send a Ben Dooley down there as well as a sixth-year guy, lineman. I think nothing against Ben Dooley, but from a personality standpoint and stuff, I think Latrell would be a good pick. I don't know. I guess you could send a Maddox Madsen down there, quarterback, a veteran guy that's been around a couple years if you wanted to. Then all he's going to do is answer questions about the quarterback battle. So I don't think that's going to be the case. Defensively, we're talking about Ahmed Hassanin, probably if he's the player of the year, especially. Michael Callahan would be a good choice down there. You have Andrew Simpson as well that could go down there. I think some good candidates there. I know we joked about it, but I still think they're probably not going to pick them. But I think both James Ferguson Reynolds and Jonah Dalmas would be prime. Would be great guys down there to do it. But not maybe as obvious as years past. And we haven't heard yet either who it's going to be.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. It's I've kind of been locked into the trials here, and my schedule's already changing because of it as well. So, we'll have to wait and see. When we get back to Boise, we'll worry about that next, I guess.
Yeah. Ashton Jeanty, our countdown continues. Let's get to that in his season here. Ashton Jeanty, we'll talk about him in just a second. But first, we want to thank a couple of our sponsors. Cutwater Spirits, more than 35 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. You can pick one up at your local gas station or grocery store. Perfect for the next round of golf out there on the course, a game day tailgate, or anytime you're looking to have a good time. Check out Cutwater Spirits. Our title sponsor is rowpaint.com. All your painting needs, we're talking interior, exterior, residential painting, touching up that siding, and of course their concrete coatings. 15-year warranty, I believe. It's way stronger, better than epoxy, and highly recommend it. We've had it done twice at our old house, already making our plans to get it done here at the new house. Concrete coatings transform the look of that ugly concrete slab in just one day with the professionals at rowpaint.com. Again, check them out. The official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics is rowpaint.com. And again, they're our title sponsors, so please support them. Support all our sponsors, including Idaho Central Credit Union tomorrow night, 8 p.m., the debut of Season 2 of the Tyson Degenhart Show. And Season 2 will kick off with a bang. Dylan Anderson, the Arizona transfer, will make his first comments since transferring to Boise State. 8 p.m. tomorrow, join Tyson Degenhart and Dylan Anderson on the Tyson Degenhart Show, presented by Idaho Central Credit Union. ICCU.com. There's a branch pretty much on every corner, but the easiest is the online mobile e-branch right there in your pocket on your phone. So check them out, ICCU.com. And again, I'm sure you know where a location is because there's one right there on every corner. And make the switch like the Raines family did and like thousands of others are doing every day, and you won't be disappointed. ICCU, Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. Bauscher Real Estate. I know you got a lot of friends out there. Everybody knows 3 or 4 realtors, but I'm telling you, the service we got from Matt Bauscher and his team, Kelly, Cade, Sarah, the whole crew. I mean, even the other day, we still needed our key to the pool from the HOA, and we had someone from the Bauscher team offer to drive over and get it and bring it to our house. So just they're number one for a reason. Check them out, BauscherRealEstate.com, 243-8222. And again, any home. I know a lot of people just think Matt Bauscher just sells the $5 million homes, and he does, but he can sell your home as well. Any size, best in the business. Check them out, 243-8222. Again, BauscherRealEstate.com. And Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com is where you can download that Skip app and get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line. Love that Cuno location down there. Been to the Star location recently as well. Locations around the Treasure Valley and 13 across the state of Idaho. Make sure you check them out, shopridleys.com. And again, when you're heading up to McCall for 4th of July weekend or any camping trips coming up, make sure you hit up that Ridley's in McCall there for your ice, your meat, whatever you need for your camping trip. So check them out. We appreciate our friends at shopridleys.com and Ridley's Family Markets. All right, Jay, Ashton Jeanty, we're at question number 4 now. We've reached the 5 biggest, most important questions, I think, kind of facing this team or just the 5 kind of bigger, topics surrounding this team heading into 2024. Yesterday, Mike Prater and I discussed the turnovers for the defense needing to improve this year and whether or not they can make that happen. They're it's the lowest number, I think, in like the last 8 or 9 years, and not counting the COVID year in terms of turnovers on defense. So if you want to go back, if you missed that show, you can watch that Bronco Nation News YouTube channel. That was yesterday, question number 5. Obviously, we have a quarterback battle to discuss. We have a first-year head coach. We have a team fighting for the CFP. So some big picture topics here over the next couple of days. But today, question 4 focuses on Ashton Jeanty. And, I kind of was figuring how to phrase the question, and I'm not sure I still like it, what I put here on the title of the show. But I said, can Ashton Jeanty live up to the hype? And I guess my bigger point here is just so much talk, so much attention on Ashton Jeanty. He comes back. He's obviously the focal point of this offense. Some people are, they have a Heisman campaign for him, Jay. You could have said, what will he do to amaze us next? How big can his 2024 season be? But I guess however you want to phrase it, Ashton Jeanty 2024, can he have the season that a lot of people are expecting him to have? And what do you think are realistic expectations, I guess, for Ashton Jeanty here in 2024?
That's what my question is that can he live up to the hype? But what are we setting the bar at for the hype? Is it 2,000 total yards? That's a lofty goal, but I definitely think Ashton Jeanty can get there. And we've seen Boise State running backs get there in the past, whether it be Jeremy McNichols or Jay Ajayi. And I think the one thing that really helps Ashton is he is such an incredible dual threat athlete. Like, not only can he carry the rock out of the backfield, but he can catch it. Heck, he can split out wide and catch the football, right? So there's different ways that they can get him involved. But to see what he did as a dual threat last year, man, like he's got a chance to be the best running back in college football. I mean, like I just don't know. I don't know who could really present an argument that would change my mind on the fact that he can definitely go out and prove that this year. And so it was so fun to watch him grow last year, and he is a force of nature when it comes to trying to bring him down after contact, man. His ability to break tackles was almost second to none in college football last year in terms of yards after contact. But I mean, I don't think anybody broke him the way he did, where that I go back to the San Diego State game, and it was like run after run after run was like, what is going on? How is he still up? And that was only a couple games into the season, and he just continued it on after that.
Oh, that one run that they show, you've seen it on social media, where he scored a touchdown, like a 60-yard run or something, but he made 3 or 4 people miss, barreled the guy over, and then he's weaving his way down the field, and literally it looks like he's jogging at one point because he's just kind of waiting and
it's the guy.
Yep, and then he's literally just jogging, and nobody can catch him because he's just kind of like already done the work, and now he's just in the clear, and he's just like, all right, I'm just going to kind of ease my way, and he knew the guy couldn't catch him from the side, and he just kind of jogged into the end zone. I mean, it was every game he does something different. We've seen the picture they used in Phil Steele. I paid the $20 for the digital version the other day. I didn't want to wait to have to get it, and was reading it. And the picture they used was him hurtling over a guy, I believe, in the Memphis game. That was when they were in.
It's the Memphis game.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So he's hurtling over a guy, and he's done that multiple times. Maybe that's the one thing you'd say, hey, we're not sure we need that anymore. But he can barrel you over, or he can jump over you too. So I mean, he can do it in many different ways. And I guess, Jay, I'm just it's going to be very interesting to follow his season, because the school is putting the Heisman shirts out. And I know part of that is due to the financial component. They want to take care of him with the NIL money, and so they back him with a campaign and all that, and do all this. We do see a lot of these lists where he's pretty much on everyone's top 10 list in terms of running backs when you talk about the draft and things. But in terms of just college football, I mean, I don't know if you have a chance yet on the college ESPN Game Day podcast with Spencer Danielson was a guest with Reese Davis and Pete Thamel, and Pete Thamel and Reese were both talking about Jeanty being a top 3 running back in the country going into the season. So there's national folks recognizing that as well. So I just, you mentioned 2,000 yards. I mean, what do you have? 1,900 last year.
Yeah,
and that was with sharing some carries with George Helani at times. And didn't he miss a game or two also?
Yeah, he came really. It was like a game and a half or maybe even almost 2 games because of he missed most of the Wyoming game. Went out in the first quarter.
So you look at those, numbers, and you think, okay, I mean, 2,000 should. I mean, that's 100 and what is that? 14 games for 2,000 yards. I mean, you're talking. That's 120, 140 yards a game or something. I mean, that seems that should be. Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it like that, but that seems like. I mean, if Ashton Jeanty has less than 150 total yards in a game, you're going to be on most games. You're going to be going, what happened to him today? So, I mean, Sky says he's going to beat out Ollie Gordon II for the Doak Walker stage this year. But just so much hype. I mentioned the Heisman campaign. Everyone's talking about him, going in the draft, being high and all this. I mean, just what constitutes a successful season in your mind for him? And just there's going to be so much pressure on him. And like we joke about it, but if he doesn't get 200 yards, there's going to be people going, oh, he had an average game or whatever. If he's at 80 yards, or whatever, rushing. I mean, I just feel like there's going to be so much pressure and hype on him, and obviously, knock on wood, that he can stay healthy for the whole season here. But just the hype around him and the potential for Doak Walker, for Heisman, for all these postseason awards, for his draft stock. I mean, do you think he has a chance to do all this stuff that people are putting out there?
1,000%. I mean, what probably the way that we'll know if Ashton Jeanty has a successful season or not is whether or not he's declaring for the NFL draft after the Mountain West Conference Championship. If he does, it means that he stayed healthy and was able to do what he needed to do to put himself in that spot. And that's what it comes down to. And more than anything, it's the health factor, because if he stays healthy, he's going to be just fine. I will say this, like every single opponent that's going to play Boise State, though, and we bring it up about Ahmed, every single opponent right now is figuring out how to load up and stop Ashton Jeanty. And there were times where they did that last year, and he still was able to run behind his offensive line and have some big games. But he will need a little bit of help to balance things out in the passing game, to take a little bit of heat off of him. They have to connect, on some downfield throws this year, maybe more so than they were able to last year, and able to lighten the box at times against Ashton Jeanty.
220 carries last year. What do you think's a number to over under to put this year?
Honestly, man, I really wouldn't go too much higher than that. And only because he missed some time, I might put it at 250, because I think that, again, his versatility, the depth of the running back room, you're not taking carries away from Ashton Jeanty. You're keeping him. You're just trying to keep him fresh. So I think you look at his versatility, the depth of the running back room. Could he go upwards of 300 carries? Absolutely. But I just don't know if that's going to be, a necessary thing to do to Ashton Jeanty. I think you keep him right around 250, maybe 260 or so, and he can have a monstrous year off that number, and then, just replicate what he did in the passing game last year. So, yeah, I would just keep it. That'd be my guess, right around 250, 260.
And he had 43 receptions as well, ended up being the second leading receiver on the team. So 300 touches, we're thinking, is about where he'll be.
Yeah, I would say, 300, 315, somewhere in that range.
And I mean, if he stays healthy and has 300 touches, he's gonna
have a monster year.
And this offense,
he's gonna go get 2,000 yards and score 20, 25 touchdowns.
Is there any realistic way? Nate Staley says, unfortunately, the Heisman is a Power 4 QB award. If he can get the invite to New York, that would be massive. Kellen Moore obviously got the invite to New York one time. I believe he's the only Boise State player that's done that. Is just getting to New York at all even a possibility for him, realistically?
I do. I think so. I go back, to 2014, if the school went all in and gave Jay Ajayi a Heisman campaign from the jump, and to see him log, 347 carries, and he had 50 or so receptions as well. And he was like, 2,000, I think he was at 2,358 yards, somewhere in that range. If Ashton does that, if Boise State makes the playoffs, because Jay took him to the Fiesta Bowl. If they do all that and he has his Heisman campaign, I think there's a chance he can earn an invite to New York. Can he win the whole thing? I don't know, but I also don't think that has anything to do with Ashton Jeanty. That has more to do with the voters and too many people having an opinion on this probably. And it'll be counted against him for not being in a P4 conference.
But if somehow Boise State can either beat Oregon or be 12-1 and get in that college football playoff and be in the national attention and ranked for most of the year and getting some games on regular Fox and some of these big time networks and stuff. I mean, I think the team success could play into this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if like I said, if they can, the one thing that there's access to the playoffs this year, and if Boise State can be that team, that without a doubt would help Ashton Jeanty's chances of earning that invite.
How does Dirk Cutter being OC impact his season as opposed to, say, at Bush Hamden, or does it?
It's a good question. I mean, Ashton has had tremendous success under both. I think that moving forward this year, George Halani was awesome. He's an awesome person. He's an awesome player. But you're no longer worried about how you're going to split touches anymore. Like you know that Ashton's going to be your horse when he's healthy, and so that offers some clarity moving forward, I would say. And so it'll be great to see what Dirk can dial up for him. But I mean, Dirk's been around so long. Like, I don't know who would say it's a bad thing. Like he's going to do. He's going to know how to use Ashton Jeanty just like the way that he used Maurice Jones-Drew back in the day and turned him into one of the best running backs in the NFL.
So final thing on Ashton Jeanty, he's as advertised. He's ready to go. We're expecting just a monster season from him. And part one, at one point, one of my questions was, what can he do to amaze us next? And I guess is there anything that he could do this year that would surprise you, or anything that would, Can he go above whatever bar we already have really, really high for him at this point?
If he somehow has more yards from scrimmage than Jay Ajayi, wow. That would be unbelievable. And the reason why I say that though is because
it's 1,800 or something, or what was that number?
Jay?
Yeah.
He had, again, I believe, I'm going off top of my head here, I think in 2014 he had 1,823 rushing yards, okay. but his yards from scrimmage was, I believe, 2,358. Maybe with somebody on one of our whoever's watching can double check me on that real quick. I'm pretty sure those were his numbers, and he had upwards of 400 touches. I believe 397. Because I believe he had 347 carries. So that's why if he can get above that number, it would be incredible. Just because I don't think that they're going to use him. I don't think they need to pound him into the defensive line as many times as they did with Jay, just because they have more depth at running back on this squad. Like we've already mentioned Syer Gaines, as well as Breezy Dubar, and then you even have other guys that Caden Dudley deserves some carries every now and then, and Tyler Crow's going to get a couple of carries. So that's why it would surprise me. Boom, 2,358.
There you go, Boise. Appreciate you. So Ashton Jeanty, certainly Jay, his health, his performance, one of maybe the number one key to this team success in 2024. And if it wasn't for a quarterback battle or a new coach or whatever, you could make a pretty strong argument that Ashton Jeanty, in terms of the players, he's going to be number one, I would think, for sure, when we get to our player countdown. But in terms of questions, he's certainly top five, and you can make an argument that Ashton Jeanty, his season is the number one storyline question around this team in 2024, no doubt about it. So Ashton Jeanty, number 4 on our countdown to camp series. Again, we got a QB battle to discuss, some other things. We'll get to those here, and then you'll be back Friday, and we'll do number 1 on our countdown, which I think is just a big picture thing on the CFP and this team and this hype, and kind of putting a bow on all 25 of these questions as we get even closer to Mountain West Media Days here. Jonah Dalmas going to join us in just a second, but first I want to tell you about a couple of our sponsors. Lithia Ford of Boise, proud to be part of 111 years of the Ford legacy in Idaho. State's first Ford dealership opened back in 1913. To celebrate such a major milestone, they're bringing you big savings at the anniversary sale. Enjoy discounts on every new Ford truck and SUV and every used car and truck in their inventory. Celebrate with Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho. Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com, the SON Management Group, the Nicolason family. Check them out. We appreciate them as well. And again, they are hiring right now. So if you're looking for a job, Taco Bell. Think about Taco Bell, SON Management Group, the Nicolason family. Again, they give you free food while you work, and you get half your wages the very next day after your shift. So what could be better? And again, next time you're looking for a family meal, maybe before or after, or you're rushing off to a baseball practice or something, I highly recommend those cheesy roll-ups. They're like $1, and you could get a couple of them, and the kids are feeling good and full and happy when they go to Taco Bell. Check them out. More information at TacoBellWorks.com. The Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorangestore.com. Monday, Mike Prater and I will be out at the Capitol 11 building on Monday. So looking forward to that. The Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorangestore.com. Again, free shipping, any order over $40. Or you can just go into the Boise Town Square Mall there next to Pro Image and check out the store yourself. Jerseys, caps, bumper stickers, logo golf balls, mini helmets, everything you need. They've got it. They've got all the NIL shirts as well. So check them out at the Blue and Orange Store. TCS, Transportation Compliance Service. And again, Jonah Dalmas going to join us here momentarily, Boise State kicker. Transcomservice.com. Check them out. All your trucking needs, the permits, DOT overweight, all the things you need to get out there, paperwork and things to tow that first load. Let them help you get it done in no time. Again, folks that try to do it themselves, 75% end up going out of business. So if you're looking to get into the trucking industry, highly recommend the professionals at Transportation Compliance Service. They will help you get it done. And yesterday, I got back on the healthy eating after a vacation and let myself get away a little bit. Had 2 Lean Feast meals for lunch and dinner. LeanFeastMeridian.com. And again, they now deliver anywhere in the Treasure Valley, so there's literally no excuse to not eat healthy anymore. I ordered 5 meals. They delivered them right to my doorstep yesterday morning, and about 2 hours after I ordered them. Highly recommend it. It's so easy. Dave and his staff, they got a gold mine there with Lean Feast. They're feeding the football team. They're feeding the basketball team. Highly recommend LeanFeastMeridian.com. LeanFeastMeridian.com is the website. That website at the bottom is wrong. I need to get this graphic updated, but fish, steak, shrimp, chicken, turkey, all the different combinations, seasonings, 10,000 combinations of meals. So any kind of diet, they can do it as well. So I highly recommend the folks at Lean Feast Meridian, LeanFeastMeridian.com. All right, we continue along here on Bronco Nation News Live. Thanks to Jay Tust for joining us. And now we get a chance to catch up with Jonah Dalmas. I guess I can call you kicker, but I guess right now I should be saying softball all-star here as we get ready for the collective all-star softball charity game here coming up tomorrow night. Looking forward to this Wednesday. Jonah, appreciate you jumping on, man. Going to be fun to get out there and play some softball again. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. It's gonna be fun, really exciting. So I'm ready to get it rolling.
5:30 the home run derby, 6:30 the game. Tickets are $5 for GA, $10 for a reserve seat. And it's the entertainment itself is fun with the home run derby and then the game and kind of seeing you guys in a different atmosphere. And some of these guys a little uncomfortable trying to taking it bad or catch a pop up that maybe aren't not in their element here in terms of football. But also there'll be post game autographs for the kids as well. And then the kids actually will get a chance to run the bases too, I believe, after the game. So going to be cool evening. Hope folks will come out. And I know you've been a part of this in the past. I know it went away for a while, then it came back now as part of the raising some money for the collective here. What's just your thoughts on this game sticking around now and having it benefit the collective and being a part of this?
I think it's a fantastic idea. You know, there's a lot of Bronco Nation family that comes out to watch our games, and I think this is just a perfect atmosphere for them to come and, see us face to face, meet us, take some pictures, get some autographs signed. So it's just a good little space outside of Albertson Stadium to get to know the fans more, and I think it's awesome.
So I know you guys are going to be taking batting practice and stuff later today, but what's your early impressions, if you have any yet, of the two teams? And you're, I believe, the captain of the offensive team, correct? So talk about the offensive team, the players you've picked, and the competition you're playing against here.
No, yeah, the players I picked, I mean, they're very high-level players. They're very competitive people. I tried to go for a lot of the baseball players, which I do have a lot of baseball players on my offensive side of the ball. So we have a lot of talent on our team, a lot of athleticism, and I'm very confident we're going to get the job done. I'm
sad to say, or embarrassed to admit, I don't remember this, but who won? Do you remember who won last year?
The defense won.
Wow, okay. So you do remember that. So you're okay. So you've upped your squad a little bit. I know Maddox Madsen, I believe, is the defending home run derby champion. So I believe that he is obviously a guy that can swing it. Who are a couple of your? I know Ben Ford's a guy that played baseball at a high level. Who are some of your top dogs here?
Yeah, so we got obviously Maddox and Ben Ford. We have Roger from the O-line. He played a little baseball growing up too, so I'm pretty sure that he's got, a big swing on him. We got Chris Marshall, who grew up playing some baseball too, so he's on the squad.
Wow,
also
okay.
have, those all-around athletic guys like Austin Bolt, who's going to benefit us, being in the outfield or on base or swinging the bat too. So just a lot of standout guys. Ashton Jeanty, we got all the guys that we need to be able to get this dub this year for sure.
I remember Ashton out there last year. There was a close play at first base, a couple close plays at first base actually. But I remember Ashton got out there and swung it a little bit last year. What's your baseball background?
Baseball background, I never played competitively, but I would always go out to the park with my older brothers, and we would have a big bag of baseballs, and we would just swing away and have fun over there at Settlers Park in Meridian. So that's basically my only background I have. But I mean, I wish I would have played baseball growing up, because I think I would have been a really good outfielder, because I can throw that ball pretty far. So I think we're in good hands with this offensive team this year for sure.
Anybody maybe we're gonna say nobody, but is there a guy or two on the defensive side that does scare you a little bit as the opposing coach here?
Not
got
at
any
all.
talent this year?
Not at all. I knew if I was the one picking the teams that I would have, the good enough guys to be confident to go out there and to be able to execute our jobs. And obviously there's a lot of talent on that defensive side of the ball too, but I'm not worried about this year. Not at all.
Any trash talking? I mean, they did take you down last year, it sounds like. So are they remembering that at all, or are they letting you guys have it leading into this game here?
Yeah, they seem to be on cloud nine still a little bit, so that's why I got to form a team that's going to come out swinging and get that ball rolling.
Again, 5:30 is the home run derby. I think the doors open at 5. It'll be a warm evening, so come bring some water. They'll have, I believe, some concessions open there. But 5:30 for the home run derby, 6:30 for the game. As I said, autographs after the game. The kids can run the bases, and it's $5 for a ticket. So bring the family out tomorrow night, Wednesday night. Hawks Stadium there in Garden City. You can get tickets at the door. You can also buy them on the Boise Hawks website as well. So just Google Boise Hawks. I don't know what their website is offhand. You can get the tickets there at the Boise Hawks website. But how are the summer workouts going? And what's just your it's crazy to believe we're less than 2 weeks from Mountain West Media Days already. We got, the practices barely a month away from starting. I mean, it seems like every year the summer goes faster and faster in the off season, but how are you feeling about things right now?
Things are going really well. Coach D explains all the time that, there's no time to waste. And that's become very true up until this point, because the summer's been going by extremely fast. So it's true. We got no time to waste. And every time we hit that field every single day, we're hitting the ground rolling and trying to perfect our craft and be ready for game one. So we talk about all the time that when game one comes around, we have to be playoff ready. And that's what we're going for.
As a specialist, I mean, you probably maybe have one of the, in terms of, you want to go kick by yourself, you can go kick by yourself. A receiver sometimes needs a QB to throw to him or vice versa, or running back. Maybe it's not quite as easy to just go run your own, patterns or routes or whatever. But I mean, you could, but I mean, for you, is it just, I know you do a lot of organized team stuff too, but is it nice as a specialist to just take a bucket of balls and just sometimes go kick by yourself, or what are you doing and the specialist doing this summer, I guess, to get ready for the season here?
That's the fun part about the specialist group that we got. We have arguably the best long snapper in the country, best punter in the country. And we're hungry. That's what makes it nice to go out and train. And I wouldn't say much of us go out and kick by ourselves, just because we all have that same mentality, that same drive to be the best in the country and to do it as a unit. So I would just say, yeah, we're hungry. So every single time that we go out and train, we usually go together so that we can get the operation clean and keep it rolling so that we can be ready for game one.
Jonah Dalmas, our guest, for a couple more minutes here. I know we talked to you about this a couple times. Unfortunately for you, every time you do an interview now, it's going to be brought up or asked about, I guess, here until it happens. But your pursuit of history here, and I could have probably just stopped there and you knew what I was going to ask you. But I know you say, oh, if it happens, it happens. I'm not thinking about it. I get it. You're a guy that's a team first guy and all that, and I get it. But 17 field goals away, which you've done pretty easily in your last couple of seasons. from literally having the most made field goals in the history of college football. And you're one of the last guys. And you could argue you didn't even really take advantage of the COVID season because it was half a season or whatever anyway. Yeah. But you know, that a couple of these guys that have had this record did have the COVID year. And then after this year, I guess maybe there's 1 or 2 more years, it's going to be over. I mean, you may get to a point where this thing's untouchable or unreachable for a long time. I know you say you don't think about it, but deep down in there somewhere, when you have that one moment to look back and think about it, I mean, how cool would it be to have your name literally as the most made field goals in the history of college football?
I think it would be amazing, and you're right. You're absolutely right. It does come into my mind often, and I think about it, and I'm just grateful to be able to say that it's an opportunity that's down the road and something that could that could happen. And I think that's a big reason why I wanted to come back for another year too. I saw, you know, this record in reach, and it motivated me to come back for another year and to help out the boys, and obviously to win another Mountain West championship and have a chance at the playoffs. But I know that this record is in reach. I think about it. I want it. And I think that's a big reason why I came back as well. So I would love for this opportunity that I have right in front of me to become reality.
And I mean, I know we're putting the cart way, way, way ahead of the horse here, but I mean, if it's a home game and you do it, I mean, are you thinking of let's stop the game, let's give them the game ball? I mean, this is a historic thing here. I mean, it's I don't know if you ever think about what that moment would be like, but you drill some long field goal at home to win a game or something, and it gives you the record. I mean, it's got a chance to be a pretty cool moment for you.
Yeah, I really haven't thought that far in advance about it. Something cool or special like that would be awesome, but just kind of focused on getting in there and continuing to make my kicks and making an impact for this team. But as far as something like that, I haven't really looked that deep into the future yet.
Well, I mean, you think about you mentioned, you said the best long snapper and the best punter. You didn't, you left yourself off there, but obviously one of the top kickers in the country as well. I mean, the way it's worked out and just it's pretty cool. I guess it's got to be pretty cool to be a part of this group where you have the trio of you guys, and in particular where you see the stats in terms of you and James possibly being 1-1 in your respective things. I mean, is you leading the nation in field goals and him leading the nation in punting? I mean, is that kind of a goal? Or I know you got. I mean, just to have the two of you guys possibly be in the two best of your positions in all of college football playing together. I mean, that's got to be pretty special too.
Yeah, no, and that's the beautiful thing about our group is we are a very competitive group. We also like to have fun. We like to go out in the field. We like to smile. We like to work hard, and we just have fun doing it. And there's a high standard in our kicking room and our specialist room, and that's just what we want to uphold for the new guys that come in, just to know how high the standard is and know how much of the specialist room can make an impact on that football team. And so having a guy like James and Mason in that room has pushed me to be better, and we continue to perform at a high level, and we'll continue to do so.
And I mentioned at the beginning, it's 2 weeks till media days, about a little over a month till practice. I mean, is that going to go slow? Is it going to go fast? I mean, what's just the feeling like? And does it, thinking about that first practice and getting this season rolling, there's obviously a lot of anticipation amongst the fans and media and everybody else. I mean, what's it like for you guys counting down the days here?
It's going by fast. I mean, earlier in my years, it's been, a couple weeks that were really fast, 1 week that was really slow, but it just seems like every single week just passes by and it's a snap of a finger. And so I'm kind of waiting for one of those weeks to slow down a bit just so that we can enjoy it more. But it seems like, the races are going and we're just getting there quick. And it's going to be fun to get things up and rolling with our first practice. And we're excited and giddy and eager to get out there. So it's going to be amazing.
Well, again, the softball game benefiting the collective. It's coming up Wednesday. How'd you get to be the captain, by the way? And what did that mean to you?
I was just told that I was selected to be a captain for the offense. And obviously, I take that with great pleasure. And I'm honored to be a captain for the offensive team. And, I want to create a good legacy with the softball team being a captain and hopefully come out with a W. And
they are doing, a home run derby, I believe, is alumni versus current players. Mm-hmm. I know you hope to have a long, pro career, but I mean, maybe the alumni portion of this is something, if you're ever back in town, you can partake in again if this thing can keep going strong.
Oh, absolutely. I would love to do that. Anytime that I can come back to Boise, Idaho and see everybody and see all the coaches and families and fans is definitely a blessing.
All right, 5:30 is the home run. Are you in the home run derby too, or?
I don't think so. I think we're putting the baseball players in there just to make sure that we're getting
all right.
some good swings.
Is Roger in that?
I don't think we've decided yet. I know.
Okay, we
for
need to
sure,
get some.
I know for
yeah, you
sure
gotta see-
Maddox and Ben Ford might be in there as our baseball players, but we'll
I remember
see.
Ezra Cleveland one year was in there and could swing it, and there was some other like surprising guys. And if you said Roger played some baseball, I'd love to see him take aim at during batting practice. So going to be a lot of fun. And like I said, I remember some of these like DBs and some of these guys that are just not comfortable at all out there in right field trying to catch the pop up and stuff. I mean, and batting too. Some of these guys are swinging and missing, and guys are laughing at them. I mean, it's some of the guys are a little uncomfortable out there, which makes it kind of fun.
Right. No, it's definitely a good time and definitely a good time for us to talk a little trash to each other when we're on the field. And so those moments are always funny, and I'm sure we'll have many more of those moments on Wednesday.
All right, 5:30 again, the Home Run Derby, 6:30 the game, $5 tickets. It's at Boise Hawks website. You can buy your tickets there or buy them at the door. It's always a fun thing, and we're trying to help keep this thing going and build it bigger and bigger. And I'm always amazed. The crowds, sometimes haven't been maybe quite as big as you would think they would be in previous years. And so this is the perfect year with the collective again being behind it. Let's pack Memorial Stadium, have some fun, see your favorite Broncos out there, a month or so before practice starts. Again, $5, all it costs. And after the game, autographs, and kids get to run the bases and have some fun there. So it should be a lot of fun. And again, you mentioned some guys that are newcomers to the team playing as well, like a Chris Marshall, so fans can get out there and see him and some of the other guys. So it should be a lot of fun. Again, Boise Hawks Memorial Stadium, Wednesday at 5:30, and you can buy your tickets online or at the door as well. Jonah, appreciate your time as always, man, and best of luck. Don't strike out, and hopefully it's a fun time, and good luck to the offense, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me on here, BJ. I appreciate it.
Hey, Circa Sports, their new contests are going on. Make sure you check them out, Circa Sports. And again, the $1,000 entry prize for the Survivor, for the Circa Millions. And again, I know that seems like a steep price, but get some friends together, split the entry fee, and you get 4 guys. It's only the guys that won the $1 million last year or 2 years ago were just 4 dudes that each put in $250 and made the picks together and won the million. So they turned $250 into $250,000 in terms of the grand prize. They won one of the quarterly prizes as well. So if you're a football fan and you're a fan of having a little sweat in some of these games, get a friend or two, reach out to me, email me, rains@bronconationnews.com. We've already got somebody willing to put up $500 for half an entry fee. If you're willing to come in the other half and team up and get an entry together, we're trying to get as many entries as we can to show Circa that their advertising with BNN is working. And we're hoping folks will come down to the contest weekend. It's August 22nd to 24th. There's all these events. You get a free open bar at the pool. You get a free open bar. Anyone that goes down to Vegas, I'm going to take you out for a steak dinner as well. We'll go down to Barry's on the bottom floor at Circa, and I'll take you out for a steak dinner if you come down to Vegas for contest weekend and sign up to support BNN and help us out. So if you're interested, reach out, email me. We'd love to have you involved. If you cannot go to Vegas that weekend, you can still sign up, and I can actually sign you up. You have to sign up in Vegas, but you can play from anywhere in the world, and it's 100% legal. Tom Carroll is the proxy we're working with, and basically you sign up in Vegas, you sign up with Tom, and then you can make your picks remotely through like a Google doc, where then Tom goes into the casino and makes the picks for you, and he runs the Vegas proxy service, and we'll tell you more about him moving forward here, but it's 100% legal to play in Idaho, given the way that the rules are set up here. So the Survivor contest, $10 million winner take all. The Circa Millions, pick 5 games against the spread, $6 million guaranteed in that one, $16 million in guaranteed prizes. We'll be telling you more about this as we go on to media days here in a couple of weeks. But if you want to go to Circa, you want to check it out, I can get you a discount on a hotel room. A lot of cool events, open bar events, as I said, with the owner, with the big wigs down there. Even Kent Riddle, Brad Bedell talking about taking their wives down there for contest weekend and signing up. You can hang out with them. We'll be down there. Connor Johnstone's going. I think the Draper family's heading down. So let's get a big BNN crew. And they told me if we get some BNN folks down there, they'll give us another little private event or take care of us for coming down there and helping them out. So sign up for the contest. If you're interested, reach out. Again, you got to sign up in Vegas. So you can reach out to me, rains@bronconationnews.com. And again, we can get you signed up and get you the details and get you on the list for the Vegas weekend. It's called Contest Weekend. It's a lot of fun. And again, if you come down to Vegas for Contest Weekend, I'll take you out for a steak dinner, and we'll have some fun and possibly get you set to win the $10 million in the Survivor. So appreciate Jonah Dalmas for jumping on. Appreciate Jay Tust as well. hope everybody has a great day. We appreciate you. Again, go support the sponsors, folks. There's no free YouTube show here every day. There's no free pregame and postgame shows if the sponsors aren't getting the return on their investment here. So if you go to Taco Bell, take a picture of it, put it on Instagram or Twitter, tag me so we can send that to them. If you go buy a vehicle from Lithia Ford like Robbie Robinson did, tag us. Rowpaint.com, the Blue and Orange Store, ICCU, all of our sponsors. If you go grab, Michelle Draper is always going to go golf and post her Cutwater picture, and we always appreciate that. So if you're having a Cutwater on the back porch or whatever, it really does work to show the sponsors that their advertising is working. So if you're able to tag us and send a message or just reach out directly to the owners of these companies and let them know that you appreciate their advertising and that's why you're supporting their business with BNN, we would really, really appreciate that. And so, thank you guys so much for the support. We got a big year in store for Bronco Nation News. I think it's going to be a fun year with the football and basketball teams. We'll be there every step of the way as usual, but we could use your help. So if you're able to subscribe, we'd love to have you. BroncoNationNews.com, and it's only $50 for a full year. Help us out, and you get a daily email and some other breaking news emails and things, and then some other exclusive benefits as a subscriber. But if you're unable to do that, we do have a monthly option, $6.99. But I guess most importantly, just following us on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and helping us get to 5,000 YouTube subscribers is big. And then supporting the sponsors. Like I said, if you use ICCU, maybe post that you use ICCU and it's in part because of BNN, or if you can just give us some love and let them know that it's working, we would really, really appreciate that. So thank you guys so much for watching. We are going to start a series next week, by the way, Mountain West basketball. I am doing the Lindy's Magazine basketball Mountain West coaches interviews and stories, and we're going to double team this, and we're going to get some of the coaches from the Mountain West on our show, and then I'll just use those interviews for the Lindy's Magazine previews as well. So we'll have some Mountain West basketball coverage coming up next week in the summer here to check in on those rosters and those teams, and we'll continue to get you set for Mountain West Media Days next week as well, around the 4th of July holiday there. But again, 3 questions left, 3 days left. So we'll count down the 3 biggest topics, questions surrounding the football team over the next 3 days. John Mallory scheduled to join me tomorrow. We'll have Jay Tust on Friday. Maybe even a surprise guest will return on Thursday. We'll have to wait and see. But appreciate you guys. No follow-up on nothing going on right now with the Jeremiah Dickey contract situation with Houston. Haven't heard anything. Don't know what's going on there. We'll keep looking at that. But Jump in Idaho, we certainly support Taco Bell. The grandkids love it. Appreciate that, Jump in Idaho. Love Taco Bell. And send me a picture or something next time and tag us or tag BNN and say that you appreciate Taco Bell for advertising, and I'll shoot that over to the owners. And I know that always it does matter. So thank you guys so much for your support. You can see my BNN studio here. It's not done yet, but we're getting closer with some of the stuff we're working on here. So appreciate you guys for checking us out. Have a great rest of your day. If any news breaks, we'll certainly have it covered at BroncoNationNews.com. John Mallory and I will be back at 9 a.m. tomorrow as we discuss question number 3 on our Countdown to Camp series. Started at 25, and now we're down to the 3 biggest storylines and questions facing the Broncos here in 2024. So go support the sponsors. Go support the sponsors, go subscribe, go tell your friends, all that good stuff. And we'll talk to you tomorrow. We appreciate it. Bronco Nation News live here at BroncoNationNews.com.